I only read one book, but it's a good book, don't you know? I act the way I act because the good book tells me so. If I want to know how to be good, it's to the good book that I go. Because the good book is a book, and it is good, and it's a book.
And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And Noah did consider it fortunate that he lived in a tent, for it would be easy to pack. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. And Noah did ask God to make his bloody mind up, and did go and find more cows. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. And Noah did wonder if this included penguins, as he didn't fancy going back to Antarctica to get 5 more, for it was bloody cold down there. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did consider that he would probably pick the extra 5 penguins up from Antarctica if they floated past, and did ask the Lord if he thought that 7 days was a reasonable deadline. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him, though he did cut a few corners, and took the idea of kinds a lot more literal than he probably should have done, which would cause a few problems for Christian apologists in years to come. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth, although having built the world's biggest boat, and tracked down and captured 2 of every kind of beast, foul and creepy thing, he no doubt felt a lot older. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood. And there was a dramatic moment when one of his sons realized that they had left the family pet dog behind, and the dog did run and jump through the door at the very last moment, just before it did close, and there was much smiling. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth, including lots of dinosaurs, a pair of unicorns, and a family of abominable snowmen. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah, apart from the ones that went in sevens, and the ones that didn't go in at all, because Noah, who was a little pushed for time, didn't consider them to be a good enough representation of their kind, mainly because when he went to find them, they did try and eat him. And it came to pass, after 7 days, that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And Noah did breathe a sigh of relief, having taken no end of crap for the last week from his wife, for having rushed her into the ark 7 days earlier. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, because it will be well known that there are windows in the sky, for they shall launch rockets and space probes through them. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and it was just like a normal British summer, and people did sit inside their tents and caravans and play board games, so called because you only play them when you're really bored. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons, with them into the ark, just like they did a few verses earlier, only they made sure that they did have their pet dog with them this time. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort, and the dinosaurs, and the unicorns, and the Loch Ness monster. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life, apart from the ones that went in groups of 7. And nobody did notice that they had done this already. And they that went in male and female, of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in, reaching down from heaven with a big hand from the clouds, and with a single finger he did close the big door in the side of the ark. And, surprisingly, considering how vague the measurements had been, the door did actually fit. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increase, and bear up the ark. And it was lift up above the earth by a mountain-sized wave, and Noah did rush around plugging holes in the timberwork, as water did rush in from between the timbers, as the ark did flex. For though it did all sound good on parchment, reality can be a bitch. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, bobbing about in a blissful fashion amongst the skyscraper-sized waves, carrying all manner of floating wreckage, uprooted trees, and small Japanese cars, which did bounce off the wooden hull rather than turning it into matchwood, as would be expected. And Noah and the animals did vomit profusely due to seasickness, when they were not being bounced off the raft, as the ark did violently pitch and heave on the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered, and much expense on CGI animations would be expended by many religious organizations who would someday wish to portray just how much water this is, without stopping to think just how much water that really was, and where it all did come from, and where it all did go. 15 cubits upwards did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered, including Mount Everest, which is over 8 kilometers tall, so we are talkisting about a fuckest load of water, makest no mistake. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. But God did spot a flaw in his plan, when he did notice that, as the waters did rise, then so did the ducks that did also float upon it. For he had forgotten that ducks can swim, and seagulls and penguins also. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died, which kind of went completely unnoticed by the Egyptians, who lived right next door, who just carried on business as usual, building pyramids and stuff. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remaining alive, and they that were with him in the ark, including the ducks and the seagulls, which would go up onto deck every day and see the other birds that did follow the ark. And Noah did pick up a few more penguins as they floated past on icebergs. And Noah did wonder why he had been sent to collect so many fowls of the air, as just about all of them were now presently roosting on the roof of the ark, or circling around in the air above him, and they did shit upon him from a great height. And he was now glad that the ark did have only one window, though it would be much improved if it had glass in it. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days, and there was still a hosepipe ban in parts of southeast England. And God did look down upon the earth, and with all the extra water, and all the rotting dead animals and detritus that it did contain, and did consider that he may have overreacted a little, and maybe killing just about everything on the planet wasn't necessarily the most caring and loving thing to do. And as God looked into the future, he could see that it wasn't particularly effective either. And God did decide that he would turn this story into a trilogy.